everybody! Welcome back to ESP Presents. This is Stormwatch Night. It's an alternating Monday, so where's my microphone going? There it is. Hello. You can see me better now, I think. Okay. My partner took the cameras to a baby shower, so I have them back. Hi everybody, I'm Aaron, or Essie. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm going to be the GM facilitator for the evening. This is Stormwatch featuring MCDM, Kingdoms and Warfare. We have the book right here. Nobody saw me drop that, I think literally, because it was off camera. This is the Kingdoms and Warfare hardcover book. It's MCDM. They're awesome, super cool people. You can catch us over there on the resource list that they have on their server. So hello everybody, thank you for the Nightbot commands. We're going to go around the table and introduce our incredible cast members that we have for this game. So it's Kingdoms and Warfare, it's 5e, and also it's Zhentarim themed. So we use a lot from the DM's Guild product. Darkhold, Secrets of the Zhentarim. Yeah, that's it. Well, my whole apparatus here got knocked over, so I'm trying to put it back up. There we go. Okay. So unfortunately, we do not have Nick, aka Amberthus, with us tonight, but we're going to go ahead and start with Ange. Ange, hello. Tell the people of the internet who you are and who you play in our Stormwatch MCDM X D&D X Zhentarim campaign.
Hello everybody, I'm Ange, she, her pronouns. I will be playing Famous, our lovely Oath of Redemption paladin, who sees herself as protector of the realm and all that fun stuff.
You have a Nightbot command. Go ahead, carry on.
Gonna say, when I'm not here, I do anime stuff.
Hell yeah, Animazing Radio, let's go.
And last night we had Ladybeard from Japan on our show, and that's up on YouTube. So check that out.
Was that from AB or was that like a
that was a live show?
Wow. Damn.
The AB
wow.
concert and press release are up there as well. But he joined us for our show last night.
Damn, that's awesome. Hell yeah. Yeah, definitely go check that out.
So if you're into Japan content or cute heavy metal, go check that out.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, look at you, Ange. That's awesome. We would go to Nick, but again, unfortunately, Nick is out. So let's go over to Ian. Hello, Ian. How are you? Who do you play, and what's going on?
Hi, my name is Ian. I use he, they pronouns, but Hurricana, who is the monk Yuan T that I am playing, uses she, they pronouns. Bitter old snake grandma monk, very much enjoying her whole vibe. When I'm not here, I'm in various podcasts, usually TTRPG, although there is one in the works that's more book club themed, and I'll have more to say when it's like actually out. But I do those things. I keep myself way too busy with this stuff, but I'm excited to be here and shout some orders at infantry and make them crush some Red Plumes.
Yes. Okay, and we have Jeff/Fathagan on the TikToks. Hello, friend. How are you? Who are you? And who do you play in Stormwatch?
I'm doing well this evening. Maybe have to do a little bit of, cutting things early and cutting things close, because I've got a work project that goes live in 7 hours. But until then, we'll begin playing Simeon, who is a Battlemaster fighter, but not the way you think. My pronouns are he, him, as are Simeon's.
Awesome. Thank you. And we have Vivian. Hello, Vivi. How are you? Who are you? And who do you play in our Stormwatch campaign?
Hi there. I'm Vivian. Pleasure to be back. I am playing Celine. She is a druid, and as of the last session, called down a really nasty storm on the enemy army. And it's probably going to keep going.
Just bringing up the Roll20. Yes, thank you. All right, and check out everybody's links in the chat. And of course, for our cast members, if you could make sure to pop into the Twitch chat. Thank you. Keep it going, chat it up. I see some of y'all in there. Hello. And that is Nick's, those are Nick's links there, posted by Technoclave with Jeff. So thank you, Jeff. All right, so what you're looking at right now on Roll20 is the Kingdoms and Warfare spread. So there's a battle map with tokens, and each of those tokens is representative of the unit cards, which you are going to see here. And I believe everybody is currently on the unit cards in the Roll20 as well. This is what you're looking at. Initiative has come to the top of the turn order, which brings it to a mix. So the attackers in MCDM Kingdoms and Warfare have the initiative, usually, unless the GM says otherwise. But it's written in the text that the general idea is that if you're the attacker, you have the initiative to surround a stronghold or a fortified position, to plan and to meet the enemy on the field, most of the time on your terms. So the idea, we stuck with that. We had our Zhentilar forces attack first, which is a full round of combat in initiative. Now we're actually going to go into a more balanced initiative. The forces here are fairly evenly matched on both sides, so it's a bit of a slog, but the Zhentarim definitely have some secret weapons and elite units among them, more so than the xenophobic, fascistic Red Plumes they're fighting against. It's canon, by the way, but also we embellish, we lean into that to make a more dramatic campaign. So, who wants to give us a recap of sort of the battle so far, or sort of the time leading up to, you can include the text RP if you want, up to this first session of combat, and where the battlefield currently lies as far as the forces on either side, the shifting of troops, cavalry, etc. 4DM inspiration and or a luck point, which you can use on the rolls for the unit cards, and also, yeah, either of those, because I'm assuming y'all are not going to just take gold. Because it's a battle. You need every advantage you can get, right? So, who wants to give a little recap?
Money.
Yes.
I can go ahead and try to give one.
All right. Thank you. What you got?
Pretty much starting from the beginning of the text RP, we had a little bit of off-camera RP as we brought in some new characters and said farewell to a few others. But the commander of the Stormwatch, Riviar Darkwind, rappelled down the tower and introduced to us Hurricana and Celine, and we sort of got an idea that the tower that we've been standing in is actually a very powerful battlefield communication and vision device, which we were then able to see the entire battlefield overlaid at our feet and have direct communication with the different units on the field, which is how we were able to sort of transition into the warfare. During the first attack, the infantry basically waded into the levies that the Red Plumes had impressed from around the neighboring area and smashed them pretty hard, actually. We managed to disrupt a couple of different units, and then the druids summoned forth quite a bit of storm, which goes well with the storm theme for the Stormwatch. But we do also still have our dragon lying in wait, lying in reserve. Our cavalry has sort of gone out and started flanking and is now cutting through the archers, and our archers managed to darken the sky with their bolts as they let loose a fearsome amount of archery firepower onto the catapults that the Red Plumes have arrayed against us. And while it's only been the first round of combat, we've managed to do a pretty decent amount of damage, and we are both not looking forward to and definitely looking forward to what the Red Plumes have to bring back to us, so we can see how badly we can smash them a second time.
Okay, very cool. Thank you. We have a tarot card right off the rip, of which we use, already linked in the chat, the Weird Works LLC Adventurers Tarot. Get over being sick as well, so pardon me. I know that's gross. I apologize. Whew. I'm okay, y'all. I promise. Hydrate. First tarot card pull of the night. We have the Three of Humanoids, which is going to refer back to the notes here. So again, this is interactive. We have the Three of Humanoids from the Adventurers Tarot Weird Works LLC deck. And at the start of combat, as we pick up this round, who is first? Hurricana. Okay, Hurricana, as you are surveying the battlefield, I'm going to go ahead and change the music. As you are surveying the battlefield, you can see just sort of coming up from the side, sort of the south by southeast, kind of coming up just by the cavalry here.
Yeah.
The music isn't fading out as quickly as I wanted it to. Next. Yep. There we go. Sometimes the timing works in our favor, sometimes it doesn't. You can see sort of just a small group of maybe about 24, maybe 24 or so individuals kind of just emerging from a tuft, sort of like a hillock of grass over here by Mistdale Mount. And Celine, you immediately recognize what's happening. Hurricana, you see it first. But Celine, as you kind of look over and see Hurricana's gaze just shifts slightly to the south over here by Mistdale Mount, you can see what seems like druidic energy being sparked up in the air, and you feel that surge of natural energy just kind of coursing through the air. And as you pick up exactly what's kind of happening, you can see, and the rest of y'all, Simeon and Famous, will remember our Gorgon friend with an entire grove of druids now sort of summoning earthen magic to their grasp. Your old friend, and you can see right by the infantry here, the levies on the side, just this wall of roots begin to just break up and emerge from the earth very quickly. You can hear the rumbling as it does, and any attacks on this unit are going to have advantage for the remainder of the round, and any attacks this unit makes are going to have disadvantage. We'll put an orange there for a slowed and a little roots. Do I have roots? A little spider web there. As the entire force, as the ground rumbles, is sort of mostly ensnared by these roots and vines that are springing up forth from the ground, and the soldiers on the field kind of look over excitedly to see these new allies emerge. That is some things that happened in the past coming back to aid you now. The Druids of the Grove that helped you in your battle against the Red Plumes and helped liberate House Derneve from their pursuers are now using their druidic magic of the entire grove to bind up this easternmost force here of levies. Seeing that and seizing the opportunity, you can still see that the storm that was initially summoned by Celine is still raging strong, one that had rolled in from the tarot cards that was intensified by Celine. The thunder and the rain, you can hear just shouts of, "The Stormlord is with us!" as they just surge forward, and the occasional crack of thunder and bolt of lightning, also concentrated around the Storm Rider Wyverns, who are trained in thaumaturgy as well as basic elemental magic as well, also calling lightning to their mounts as well. You can see the magical weapons that they use surging with energy, like bolts of lightning just sparking off of them. And do you remember exactly who you had control of? Hurricana, what forces?
I had control over the base infantry.
Base infantry. Okay, so with the initiative count of 20, you are up first. We're going to bring it back to the card map. Let me know if you want to switch back to the other one to get a better view of the battlefield, but let's go back to the card map for now. You have control and command of the infantry, Hurricana. What would you like to do?
All right. So kind of similar to the first verse that we had, I'm going to try to break the human peasants in front. So now that some of these have already been kind of worn down, I'm going to see about having my human shield maniple on the far right attack the human peasants. Same with this one attacking the right one as well.
Okay, all right, and just so you know, you have, let's see. I'm gonna put a little web here, right, for the peasants that are currently being restrained. Okay, so your heavy infantry are slamming into the two levies in front.
Yep.
Okay.
So this one's only going to get one, and then the two.
Okay, all right. As Hurricana gives the command, you can see the flag bearers holding up red flags for attack and pointing them in the general direction of your targets. As the Zhentilar infantry, the heavy infantry, kind of just, we're right! And they put their shields down and begin to push into the levies, who are absolutely shitting their pants. So go ahead and make an attack roll against this group of levies here, who is almost broken. D20 plus 5.
16. Yeah, 16 for my first. And then
It will definitely break the defense. Okay.
Yep. These are
All
for
right.
the two that are fighting the one on the right, and then the third and final is going to be a nat 20.
Oh! Okay.
So that's the one that's attacking the left.
Right.
levy.
Okay. So, as you can see, you hear that ooh, and it's sort of echoed down the battlefield as it just kind of trails into a ooh, as they just kind of like put the shields down and push forward, and you can see them advancing through the ranks, very disciplined. It really is like that opening scene in Gladiator where they just are marching, shields up, walking forward with the battle cries into the levies, who are armed, sort of chainmail and well-equipped chainmail, just a red feather in all their caps, chainmail with occasional plate, and they are just absolutely being crushed by the Zents here. So this unit is going to go down to a 16 and a 13. Both will hit, so it's going to go down to 3 and then 2, and it's going to have to make a morale test as it has been decimated. So it's going to roll a d20.
I don't have to roll power for either.
You will in a second.
Oh,
So I'm gonna. Okay, so it did
Something
succeed
not
on the
great.
morale. So it's the one on the right is holding together, but go ahead and make a power test now. So that's going to be another d20 plus 4.
13
Which-
and 7, unfortunately.
Ah, okay, all right. That is going to be one more casualty from the follow-up. All right, as they are slamming into them, and this nat 20. So I'm going to kind of describe what is happening here. So they are moving forward so quickly that this, first of all, with the nat 20, this unit is instantly broken. They just absolutely break this unit of levies. Would you like to have them move forward? They are heading that way.
I think that
Or do you want to have them hold?
at this point I want to have them hold, because that just puts them in a position where 3 people get to attack for free. So
Okay,
we'll hold
all
for
right.
now.
All right, this line is broken. So, but with a nat 20, they are going to get one more attack at advantage.
You got it. So 13, this one's gonna go towards the human infantry.
Okay, yeah, 13 will do it. That will hit. That will beat their defense.
And then I can roll power as well. That's 11. I don't think that beats for the extra hit.
It does not, but they are able to wheel in, and this unit has already suffered one additional one, so it's going to go down to 2. There is now fierce fighting between the Red Plume regulars now, who clash sword and steel and shield, with the Zhentilar heavy infantry now, who are just... Now, you do have Into the Breach as well, which is... I think might uniquely apply in this situation.
Into the breach. When it
Yep.
successfully executes a follow-up maneuver, it has +2 bonus to defense. Cool.
Yeah, so if you do want to move in, it'll gain that +2.
Well, with
there-
that defense on hand, I'm actually a little bit more comfortable with moving in.
Okay, and no roll necessary because of the natural 20, so they kind of just, you hear, forward! And then you just hear, tortoise! And they just put the shields up. Tortoise formation, you can see them kind of coming in front of each other and putting the tower shields down, one in front of the other. Very epic, as you can see just a row of shields now as they are holding firm in the defense here. with the initiative still, is there anything else for Mistress Hurricana?
I think I just had the 3 shield maniples, but if there's anything else you want me to like pick up and grab this turn, I can.
Up to you. I think actually
How are
Nick.
we? Yeah. How
What
are we
did Nick have?
dividing?
I think he had the Stormwatch, right? Professionals. Oh, I have them labeled here. He had professionals. I believe the Storm Riders and the Outrider Elite. So
Yeah, the Hounds of Dalrath there.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say, why don't we divide those up and go ahead and take one of those, and then we'll just rotate.
Sure. I'll just have the Stormcallers go, and it looks like the
The Wyverns? Yep, all right.
Yeah, the Wyverns. It looks like the human artillery are exposed, so that seems like a good swing, and it looks like they get a +7. So
Okay.
I'm gonna let me zoom in and check their abilities. It looks adaptable.
They've
bless
got
the
Ride the
Rain.
Lightning.
Oh,
And it's still storming
Yeah.
right now.
Ride the lightning. Okay. Oh, it might not be in the book I'm looking at, so I'm not sure what that means.
Oh, there, I'll drop it in
they're-
chat.
Ah, thank you. All right.
hold on,
Pterodactyls. That's
They might
fine.
not be able to be exposed. I have to look up the rules for
Oh.
exposure because they still have some units in the rear. All right, yeah. So because the rear rank is not collapsed, I believe they wouldn't be exposed. I'm just gonna double check.
Because I thought the what's the word? That oh gosh, what are they called? The cavalry could attack units that have one side at least exposed. On the side anyway, not the back line.
They're flying, so that
Oh,
might make other things as well.
mechanics. All right,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they can kind of just dive on whoever.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Aerial units.
Oh,
Any other units?
cool.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. Aerial can attack
Use
anybody.
a command test to target a unit with this trait on a success. The target unit and each unit adjacent to it must succeed a DC 15 or suffer 1 casualty. Oh, did it recharge after it was last used?
I think you have to roll for the recharge.
Ah, okay. And does that
do.
remove my attack, or does that allow me to attack
Nope.
still?
It just you. If you get the recharge, you get the recharge.
I rolled a 6.
Okay. All right.
We are getting the recharge. I'm gonna have them
Okay.
do. I'm gonna have them do Ride the Lightning on the artillery, and that should hit the shield maniple, the artillery catapult, and the other human infantry in the back.
Okay.
So that's
Ride
a
the
command test. I'm okay at those. That's DC 13. The unit's command is +5.
They're pretty commandable.
Oh,
right
can I
at
use
all.
one of the advantages in our?
Oh yeah, you can add. So they're not advantages, but let's go to the power
Oh, yeah.
pool here.
Yeah.
And see what
So I
we
remember
got.
We can swap them out because a 3 is disappointing.
Yes. Power pool. There we go. Okay. So we have a 10, an 11, an 11, and a 12.
I think
Any one of those would turn
10
that into a success.
Yeah, I guess the lowest one, so the 10 would allow me to move it to a 13.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm going to use the 10 from the power pool.
Well, that would be
And-
yeah,
Make
that
it a 15.
3 would be, yep, that would make it a 15. So let's remove Celine's 10 from the hot tub. From the hot tub with the power pool. We'll bring this
Cool.
back to command sheet. Out of curiosity, curiosity.
Yeah.
I'm going to just double check Ride the Lightning real quick. You are.
Succeed on a
So I
DC
have it
15
in front
power
of me.
test. The target unit. Okay, so all of them have to make a power test. Wait, is it me or them? And it
The
is
target unit
raining.
must succeed on a power test. Yeah, so they make the power tests.
Oh, okay. So they have to.
They take one
have to
casualty if they
15.
succeed, and 2 casualties if it's raining.
No.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time finding the actual
Oh,
Stormcallers. So if somebody could link that in the roll 20, that would be awesome. So I forgot to bring the PDF
It's-
up because I was relying on the hardcover, but then I realized I don't have the page number. What page that's on?
Well, it's also in the resources page, not in the PDF.
Oh, okay. In the
Or, sorry,
hardcover?
it's in the resources
Yeah,
PDF,
I was just
not the
linked to
hardcover.
them.
Last session.
Because I'm reading the ones. Oh gosh,
Gotcha. So, can
I'm reading Ride the
someone
Lightning.
link Ride the Lightning?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Okay, there it is. I got it. Games Warfare resources. That way I can just control F. Okay.
Oh, you got it.
I think so. See. Technical difficulties.
Yeah.
ISP is giving me a hard time too. There it is. Okay, Ride the Lightning. Got it. Okay. Oof. As an action, this unit can make a DC 13 command test, which you succeeded on. Target unit with this trait. That's the target unit, and each unit adjacent will succeed on a DC 15.
Yeah, that was my other question. Is adjacent count our units from the Crimson Guard? Because if not, I'd like to same target just a little bit further out.
The Crimson Guard is theirs.
Oh, okay, never mind then. I will happily blow them up just as much. Yeah, I'm gonna aim for the longbow, and then
Okay.
everybody around the longbow unit will have to make the power test.
Okay.
And it's raining, so I'm liking that move. That's a good move.
So adjacent is going to be 1, 2, and 3. I don't think adjacent is diagonal.
Oh, okay, good.
It is not.
I wasn't sure. Okay.
And let me reload here. Yeah, we've been having some problems with our ISP, so I apologize to everybody. This is a very fast computer, but the ISP here has not been treating us well, so my apologies for the hiccups. So... DC 15 power test.
Because if I can tear a hole open in their line, then we can have every
Yeah.
filter in.
Alright, that would be good. So, the shield maniples, the artillery, the longbowmen, the catapults, and the infantry are all going to make power tests. Okay, so that's 4 d20s. So first we're going to roll for the infantry to the northeast, which would be their rear line. So they're going to roll a d20 plus power test, right?
Yeah, it looks like it's a +2 for the human infantry, the
d20
human
plus
artillery.
2. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so the back line is going to make a power test against...
That's 1.
What's the target?
It's 15.
DC 15, thank you. Okay, so
Yeah.
1 failure. The longbowmen are going to make a power test. They also have a +2. That's a nat 20, so they're going to take no damage on a crit. So I'm going to describe how the lightning arcs out here in a second, kind of like arcs around. Then the artillery, the catapults. 1d20 plus 3. They have a +3 to their power test. Another dirty 20. And then the heavy infantry are going to roll d20. They have a +4. But they actually fail. So as it's raining, as the rain is sort of coming down, it's getting harder, more intensified. The ground is starting to get muddy and wet. The thunder is still roaring, and as you can see, the 32 aerial units that are kind of screeching and roaring with through the sky, roaring and screeching, roaring with the thunder, and the lightning, you can see them kind of casting and trying to use their magical weapons. Most of the Storm Rider Wyverns have enhanced metallic weapons that actually act as conductors. They're sort of infused with titanium and gold to help conduct the magic of lightning. They're also enchanted as to not harm the rider. You can see them trying to summon the lightning here, and as they kind of summon a vortex around the longbowmen who are kind of huddling together, you can see the bowmen are also kind of taking cover behind some of the makeshift fortifications that they've established. They've also established sort of a series of sort of clay and stone barricades that they've placed throughout. They're taking cover, and as the Storm Riders are trying to focus on slamming down the storm into the longbowman, they lose it, and it just arcs out and around and misses the central line, but it sort of arcs to the northeast and the southwest, hitting the back line of infantry and the heavy infantry up front, inflicting with the rain 2 casualties on each. And I see there, so they haven't taken any hits because it's blank, so it's 6. They're gonna take 2 casualties, and they're gonna take 2 as well in front. As the lightning sort of arcs out, it's like you can hear the impact of the cracks of lightning as they slam down onto the battlefield. Also, if y'all could refresh the Twitch and jump back into the chat, that would be awesome, because I think it got a little messed up there. So just go ahead and refresh the page if you don't mind, and then jump back into the Twitch chat, get those numbers back up, because my ISP just shut off completely for like 5 minutes and reset everything. Let me just make sure that we're still live. Okay, that's all I care about. Hi everyone, thank you. Plagued by it's ISPs lately have been really out of control. Okay, and also kind of describing some of the wyverns begin to like sort of duck down, and you can see them doing sort of dives on the lightning. And true to the phrase, as they're riding the lightning, they're diving. The lightning is cracking on the ground. You can hear the screams and smell the charred flesh, the Red Plumes, as they're diving through the ranks. And kind of like in Return of the King, when the fell beasts kind of swoop down and just grab some of the infantry and then just like dump them at other parts of the battlefield. That's what they're doing. Swooping down, like grabbing some of the infantry. A couple of Wilhelm screams, right? Like, ah! As some of the units just go flying, and the lightning still cracking and impacting down and around the battlefield. So 2 casualties there on the rear infantry line, 2 casualties on the maniples. The maniples here, the heavy infantry here is almost broken, but the catapult, the technicians, the artillery technicians, and the longbowman line here are able to hold and take cover behind the makeshift barricades. That's going to be it for the Stormcallers, I believe, unless there's something else there that I'm not a ride of other than ride the lightning. Okay, but you can hear them.
That's my main thing.
Screeching. All right, excellent. That would bring it over to Celine.
Oh, one final thing,
Yes.
just because I put somebody surrounded by 3 units. I want to use my monk ability, Mind Over Body.
Okay.
Once per battle, as a reaction, when a unit this commander controls finishes its activation, that unit selects all the units this commander controls. Power tests against each of the selected units fail until the unit's next activation. So I'm going to have the Stormcallers kind of try to inspire my shield maniples to just engage and really turtle up so that they take less damage.
Okay. And what would that test be?
It's just power tests against them fail until the next activation. So if they do get past the shield maniple's defense, they are not going to be dealing extra damage until the Stormcallers activate again. And I only get that once per battle, but I thought it'd be fun to use.
And that's the martial ability for the monk, you said?
Yes, that is the 5th level. Yeah.
All right. Monk martial advantage. Mind everybody. Yep. Okay. By the way, for anyone following along from MCDM, that's page 115. 115.
Yeah. And that's my stuff. I feel pretty good about that turn.
Power test against each of the selected units. Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. So basically any power test against the Storm Riders is going to fail then?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Cool. As the Storm Riders are kind of swooping down and screeching and unleashing carnage on the battlefield, you can see them absolutely inspired, and they even intensify their attacks. They are diving and swooping and ascending once more with impunity, just digging into all of the units here that are remaining on the battlefield, inspiring terror. Over to Celine. Celine, what do you got?
Okay. So Celine and her druids are continuing this ritual, pushing the storm forward. And then she, as it's just struck the front line, she breathes in, pushes out, and you see the clouds kind of billow as if like a sail being blown, and the storm moves back one row and starts striking down again.
Okay.
Everyone in the next rank back, which would be the peasants and maniples, one back. They need to make a DC 16 power test or suffer 2 casualties.
Just make test. All right. So what is the power test goal again?
They need to beat a 16, or meet or beat a 16,
Okay.
or suffer 2 casualties.
All right. That is. You said power, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, rolling for the Crimson Guard.
No, not all the way back. Just one row back from the front.
Oh, one row back from the front. Okay.
It goes one back each time it's used.
Okay, so the reserve, then the reserve rank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, does
Sorry, I
that?
couldn't read it.
No, that's okay. I actually want to check something to see if that would include our own units here. The unit with the scrolls.
So it says, yeah, that I scrolled too far. Affecting each unit in that order.
Yep. So I'm gonna say, for who is the last in the initiative order?
Oh.
All right, Ange, can you do me a favor? Make a command test for the Hounds of Dalrath to see if they can avoid and move out of the way to avoid the lightning in time as the storm rolls backwards. And I'm also gonna say I don't think there's a limit, but I'm gonna cap that druid ability at once per battle. So I'm gonna say once the storm rolls all the way back to the rear
that's
line.
what
That
it
is
ends
how it
after
works.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
That's how it
yeah.
works.
I didn't see anything about once per battle, so I was wary that you could just repeat that. So in lieu of that, I'm just gonna say, just in case. Oh yeah,
That's fair.
yeah, just in case we're gonna cap that at 1 per battle. So power test for the second line. So first a command test, DC 12. All right, that is. I want to set the DC at there. And that's not going to beat the 16. So do you want,
Or
if
what
you
am I
want to
adding
use?
to? What am I adding to that? Because that's just the die roll.
Oh, command, right. So that's going to be 3. Yeah, I'm gonna say a 15. I'm gonna just set the DC at 15 because they know what's going on. They're your own units, so I'm gonna say they'll be able to see it coming. DC 15 is enough. I'm just gonna say that the hounds are gonna wheel slightly to the right, just for a visual. You can see Gareth, who's in command of the this elite unit, the hounds, right, is gonna just put up his arm and seeing the storm rolling in. Oh heck yeah, Yozo Dozo, thank you. There's a couple different screens here that we're working with. These are just the unit cards. We also have the actual battle map here. Give it a second to pop up, and you'll be able to see. Fix the damn camera again. You'll be able to see all of the tokens that we established here on this map. And hydrate. Thank you, everybody. Hydrate. And welcome in everyone new from MCDM or from elsewhere on the internet. We appreciate you and we see you. Thanks for stopping by. So yeah, I'm gonna say that the hounds are able to kind of wheel right, and you can see Gareth just east and just kind of wheel, and you can see the cavalry as he just kind of holds out his arm, just gallop to the east there as the storm just rolls back to the reserve line. Sorry, I was like, is that center or reserve? There we go. Okay, so Celine, each of them needs to make you said a power test?
Power test, DC 16.
All right, well, so the conscripts on their right flank, your left flank are gonna roll. 1d20 plus 2. All right, that's a fail for the levies. 1d20 plus 4 for the heavy infantry there in the middle. Fail. You said 16, right?
16.
Yeah.
Oof. Crushing it. 1d20 plus 4 for the other heavy infantry in the center line. They're going to succeed. 1 success in the middle here. And the levies on the right are going to roll at disadvantage because they are restrained by the druids, by the grasping vines, the entangling roots from the effect during intrigue from the druid grove that showed up here.
We just need that
So
gif of like the
2d20. That's a natural 1.
Ooh.
So, and how many casualties are they going to take?
2
2.
each.
2 each. Okay, so that is a fail, succeed, and using the nat 1, fail. Okay, so
Yeah.
this line
like-
here is pretty beefy. They haven't really taken much damage. So I'm going to say the storm rolls back, and you can see the heavy infantry kind of inspiring the levies to take cover behind some of the battlements and the barricades they've established, and some of the shield maniples kind of extending themselves thin, the heavy infantry, to get some of the levies to take cover. And they're also doing a brace. They kind of get on one knee and they're putting their shields up as the storm comes through. Some of them even interlocking arms to be a heavier unit as the storm kind of sweeps through, and you can see these vortexes and cyclones. What is Celine looking like again as this is happening? Describe kind of her visual as she's kind of pushing this storm into the next line.
Yeah, so as she's kind of doing these broad sweeping gestures and is pushing it forward, you can see her hair is very crystalline, and there just seems to be like this pulsing of like these green wispy kind of energy, this druidic magic kind of like flowing back through down her back and then pulsing out from the ground beneath her into the earth. And as she kind of does this push forward, you can see like some of the units that the tornado had picked up in the last thing, as long as there's just errant weaponry and wagon wheels and just anything that the Twister had picked up just batters into the next row before the storm even hits itself. And they're greeted with lightning, and after they're battered by the scattered pickups of the rows in front.
Outstanding. And you actually break this unit of levies here off to the side. So go ahead and describe what happens as this unit here just shatters.
I think Celine recognizes that they are levies, they are peasants. And so as they're rooted down, I think kind of like the druids are communicating with each other through the earth. And so the roots bind them tightly. The storm knocks them all down and scatters their weapons and arms and shields away, leaving them
Awesome.
completely defenseless and surrendering.
Done and done. Okay, let's go back to the token map to reflect that.
And then we have a mascot right here.
Yes. Okay, so that is the levies here have been broken. Oh, kitty cam. We love the kitty cam. I love it when they talk too. So vocal. Love. All right. So, which unit was the unit using the scroll?
It was the artillery with the leaf.
Artillery with the leaf. Got it. So they are sort of directing broad cluster fire, but most of their energy is focused on the druids that have sort of attached themselves to this trebuchet unit. And they are also, again, firing large volleys of stone, but they're kind of going wide. They're more just like peppering the rear line here. Now, you also have another trebuchet unit here and 2 archer units. After your turn, it's going to go to Captain Serag Kuhl, who's going to be able to respond and retaliate. But y'all rolled very well, so proceed with the second Hellfire Trebuchet unit and your 2 battalions of Zhentilar archers.
I think with the damage that's already been done so far, And seeing as how the storm is going to be hitting their artillery line next, the artillery and archers can hit anyone, right?
I will go check.
But I'm gonna double check. Unit type. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Artillery units can attack any other unit on the field.
Ah, cool.
Nope, let's go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so they are going to, at Celine's directive after she pushes the storm forward, she kind of reaches out to the side, motioning to the commanders that are, aiming the volley fire, and you see some of the commanders point at the direction, confirm with Celine. They all adjust fire directly at the Crimson Guard in the back.
Ooh. Oh,
And
nice.
unleash.
Okay. All right, so you can see sort of these brilliant sort of orange flags, and you can see them all around the field, and you can hear war horns as all the flags are kind of directed north by northeast. Oh, thank you for the gifted sub. Thank you so much. Vivicakes, that went to you. And yes,
Oh,
Kitty, we
sweet.
love a kitty cam. Don't forget to hydrate from Jeff's hydrate.
Here,
As the war horns sound, you can see the trebuchets kind of adjusting on the fly, and you can hear them shouting, like, Northeast 600 shift! And you can hear them cranking back the trebuchets as the archers are also kind of positioning themselves, and you just hear, Archers volley! Line up for volley! Volley! And they kind of all hold up the bows, and with the orange flags kind of turn simultaneously. You can hear the movement, and then you just hear loose, blotting out the sky. Go ahead and we'll do the trebuchets first, firing big chunks of stone. Start with the trebuchets. Go ahead and roll a d20 plus 5.
24?
Yeah, that will definitely hit. And before you roll for the arrows blotting up the sun here. And this volley flies over, perfectly aimed at the rear right line, right in the rear.
And those are plus 3?
D20 plus 3 each. Yeah.
A 21
Heck
and
yeah.
a 6.
Okay. Do you want to use a power die to turn that into a success, or are you going to hold on that for now?
I
up to
think
you.
we still have a few. I think it might be a good idea.
Okay.
What?
go back to the
I'll
power
take
pool.
the lowest one that gets me that success.
All right. You have a 12, an 11, and 11. So that would be 11, 12, 13, 14. Let's double check and see. Would a 14 do it, or do you need the 12? That's a good question. They have a defensive. Yeah, the 14 will do it. Their defense is 14.
Nice.
Okay, then we'll do the
All right.
that for the 14.
Bring it back here to the power pool. The hot tub.
Triple hit
For anybody
time.
watching? Yeah. Let's do Allures. 2 left. You have 111 and 112 left. That will turn that into a success. Back over here to the field. All right. So they are completely unprepared for this volley as it just slams into the back line. We're gonna turn that 3 into
I like to think that like the Crimson Guard kind of watched it loosed, and they think it's kind of going towards the middle, but the wind whips up, and then the arrows just change trajectory in midair, with the winds just turning them into pin cushions when they were expecting it to land somewhere else.
So before we make power tests, you're going to see Captain Sirag Kuel, who's in the back, who was not expecting this, who is kind of right in the rear line against the battlements, against the farthest rear walls that they have, is trying to shout furiously for them to take cover. And you can actually see one of the officers start to run. Sirag Kuel actually takes out a crossbow and shoots one of them in the throat. One of them goes down, and he holds up his blade as they start to break. They're going to make a morale test, d20 plus, which is going to fail. That unit is about to break, but as Tarakul executes one of the fleeing officers, he's going to use a reaction here for his martial advantage, so we can show this off as to what the enemy can do as well.
Might have hidden reserves or something like that.
Martial Rally. At the beginning, so it's at the beginning of his next turn. A broken unit that the commander controls that has not already been rallied can make a DC 13 morale test. On a success, it gains 1d4 casualties and is returned to the battlefield. And it gets 2 activations. So that's going to happen.
Ooh.
He is trying to rally the Crimson Guard, which is about just about 1,000 troops. They are the elite of the elite, and they're between 800 and 1,000. So there's probably closer to 1,000. So there's a decent number of them, but they are absolutely being pinned down by this hailfire now. So let's see if they can make the test, though, the morale test. Now, if you have anything in your back pocket that can impose disadvantage, now might be the time. Oh, there's a tarot card from Baba Yaga. So hello, Baba Yaga. That might be exactly the tarot card we're looking for. And it is the 2 of elements, which is an air and wind elemental. So possibly, but go ahead, Mistress Harkana, question.
Since we're splitting up the pink units, would Vivi still be able to use one of them?
Yep,
cool.
absolutely. So I had, so because Ange was last in the initiative, I had her do the roll for the Hounds of Dalrath. Or just the Hounds, sorry. Dalrath is specific to the MCDM Kingdoms and Warfare back in the book there. It's just the Hounds for us. All right, the Hounds of the Sunset Vale. So, Vivi, do you want to take the Stormwatch or do you want to take the Hounds?
The Stormcallers are already Ian's, I think, right?
The Stormwatch is the professionals.
Yeah, so the Stormcallers are the Storm Rider Wyvern Company. The professionals are the Stormwatch, which is basically, again, for anyone just tuning in, how we describe the 250 units of the Stormwatch that aren't the 5 players in our cast is essentially like the opening of the portals from Avengers Endgame, right? They are mages, wizards, druids, paladins. They are irregulars, and they are lining up like the Avengers assembling in Endgame over here. So that's how we describe the professionals. So do you want to take the Stormwatch professionals?
Sure.
Okay.
Can I have them use an action then? I'll give them the Wand of Grasping Roots.
Okay.
As an action, the unit with this wand chooses a target unit, the Crimson Guard, which must succeed on a power test of DC 11 plus domain size is 16 or become disoriented.
Okay, and that they're going to fail. So let's look up disoriented, which for anyone following along with the PDF or the text, that is going to be unit conditions on page... Yes, thank you. 107. Your kitty has been a great helper. Yes, thank you. Disoriented. Disoriented unit can either take an action or move, but not both. Okay, great. Yeah. So they're going to be able to move. So they might just be stuck there. That would be... But who knows? That's good. All right. And also the 2 of elements from the tarot card here. That's going to be... I'm going to say with flavor that the winds of Tempest are indeed going to shift. Think of the tarot. It makes sense, right? There is a storm that is actively raging right now. It was from the tarot cards. The Stormwatch, the Zhentilar took that as the Stormlord being with them. The 2 of elementals here. We're going to give a shout out to our friends at Raidworks LLC again for the Adventurers Tarot cards. So that is a well-timed tarot card. We love to see it. I have so many tabs open. Weird Works. Okay. There we go. Check them out. They're our good friends. Say hello. They're awesome. Okay. So where were we? They're gonna roll at advantage for that morale test, but they don't know it yet. Perfect. So you can see the professionals kind of summoning their own magic and using one of the wizards in the front, right? And they're all in black and gold leathers. It's real badass. Some of them have like, because they're irregulars, they have like some other little blurbs of bursts of color in there as well, but mostly
I feel like
black
this
and
wizard
gold.
Just has too many belts. Just too many belts.
Yeah. And is just kind of using the power of this wand, and you can see them kind of focusing all their magic here towards the back as the Crimson Guard is being pelted by artillery fire, by arrows that literally blinding out the sun by the trebuchets. They're just screaming. One of them tries to run, gets executed by Sirag Kuel. Anything else for Celine before we move over to the captain's turn?
Do I need to make those power checks?
I think we already did that, right? So what's the
Because
power
they're
check?
scattered already, so you don't have to.
Yeah.
Because they already.
That
Okay.
unit
They
is
broke.
broken. It's broken.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, just making sure.
Yeah. But,
Yeah, that'd be it then.
okay. All right. Great. Oh, well, actually, do me a favor. Do me a favor and just roll 3d20 and see if you get a nat 20.
Sure. Yeah, I did.
Oh, shit.
Oh!
Okay, so they're going to make a bunch of rolls at... I can't really do double disadvantage, but let's go ahead and... Would that theoretically be the end of Celine's turn before I
that-
move on to do that?
probably.
Okay. Trying to rally here. We're going to... 2d20. Yeah, so not even needed, because I'm going to say as he's trying to rally, more and more of the volleys are coming, and you can hear just in the back from the archers. You can hear the general here, the swordhar, the battle captain. You can hear the battle captain of the archer battalions and regiments just saying like, "Pour it on them!" And then you can hear the commander of the Hellfire Trebuchet Regiment just, "Reload, let them have it!" As they are just continuously firing, hammering the back line. Some of the wyverns even just kind of swoop around and try to pick up some of the scattered survivors. So it's going to be a 2. And I believe that I don't think there's anything that Sirag can pull out of his ass for this. That's going to be his martial rally at the beginning of his turn. Not limited to once per battle. Yeah. Okay, so the Crimson Guard, their elite units are broken. They are scattered. They are running. You can hear them just, "Cowards!" as they are absolutely just done. Woo! Thank you, Baba Yaga. All right. Meat spec on the menu! Yeah, exactly. Now let's go back to... Here we go. Shadowdale. The Overland map. So yeah, that elite unit is just shot, completely destroyed. You've exposed a lot of units over there. You guys still have the rear line, but I think yeah, that's all 3 of them. Okay. Captain Sirag Kuel has command of the infantry. So he is going to move. What I'm gonna do here. Okay. All right, he is going to have the levies here, the infantry here, and the heavy infantry here, as expected. Try and hammer and surround your advanced defenders here, who have a defensive +2, by the way, +2. And he's got a bunch of dice and his power pool to use, and I think he's going to take the gamble. So what does he have here?
And even if he uses them, they still can't do power tests, so they're limited to just 3 hits.
Did I not roll? Graham? Guess not. I'll do it again. 10. Oh, that'd be a 4. Okay. So they got a 4, a 9, a 6, and a 6. Yeah, they luckily didn't roll very well on their own power tests here. So, commanding the infantry. The levies here are going to attack first. And you can see them sort of shouting. They're not nearly as organized as the Zhentilar. They don't have flags. They have kind of commanders relaying orders. They have like a couple of flags that are just kind of they're trying to use motion, right, with this. Just kind of like using directional flag. They're all red with sort of bright crimson flags that are they're trying to point in other directions. Not nearly as organized. 1d20 plus 2. That's a 5. And you can see again your tortoiseshell formation here in the center line is, you can see these levies trying to slam into them, but this tortoiseshell formation is just it's just unmoving. The levies are slamming into it. They're trying to thrust spears in there, and you can hear them just kind of like hold as the levies are trying to slam in. The standard infantry here on the left flank is going to try and slam in. 1d20 plus 3. Also failed. The same thing. They're being hammered by both sides. Hold! 1d20 plus 5. That one is going to hit with a 21. And then they're going to try and push through with a power test.
But it will fail because of the mind over body.
Now, is that... I thought that only affected the Storm Riders, but I could be
It was...
wrong.
the unit selects all units this commander controls, so I believe
shit.
that's myself. So I picked the shield maniple.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, then you're good. So power tests automatically fail?
Yes.
Okay, so...
Until the unit's next activation. So once the storm colors start again, then that ability will go away.
Okay, so you can hear the battle captain here calling out to you. That's just Commander Hurricana! We're holding! What do we do?
Let them waste their blades upon you and fail.
And then you just kind of hear like a whoo as they kind of push back a little bit. You can see some of them kind of bounce back, but you can see them. Some of the formations are started. There's some cracks in there. The elite heavy infantry slamming in is able to kind of push up some of the shields, and you can see that the two front lines here are in a melee, and they're going to suffer one casualty as they are sort of steel on steel, sword on sword in the front line, but the rear and the lateral sides of your tortoiseshell formation are holding. Okay. So that's... Oh, sorry. That's supposed to be 1. That was 4. Okay, perfect.
Where do our hobgoblins go?
They're right here.
Oh, I can't see them anymore.
The green card? The
There is
forest
no
green
green
card?
card there, at least for me.
Oh,
Bizarre. It is there for me.
green.
there for
Let's
me.
see.
Weird.
Sometimes Roll20 will be funky, weird, but they're there. They're there. Okay, so 1 casualty, and I believe correct me if I'm wrong, Hurricana, but I believe that these maniples here only suffered. They were at full health, right?
Yeah, I don't think
Okay.
anyone's been hit yet.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So.
I use my reaction to use mind over body, so I don't get one until next turn anyway, in case that comes up.
Okay. Acceptable maneuver. Hold the line. Into the breach. Nothing broke.
Yep.
So we have some infantry in the back. Can't really attack anything yet. Unless I want to have them move. You can only move 1. We might have... Yeah. The infantry is going to do a lateral move. Shifting to the right. Try and fill in the gaps there. Okay. Infantry. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think that's it for Darkhold, because he was gonna hammer in with the infantry, but okay, yeah, that would bring us to Simeon. They are a disorganized mess right now.
Perfect opportunity for the cavalry to close in and make a mess.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and start with the cavalry up here on the top, and they're going to just advance into the side of the archers.
Okay.
So they're going to take their move first to step them up.
Are you looking at the left flank or the right flank?
Left this flank.
Right flank. Okay, so they're gonna move forward and attack the infantry on the right flank here.
No, the artillery.
Artillery.
Keep in
Okay.
mind,
Yep.
The storm will hit that row next turn.
Yes.
I thought I was going back.
It is.
Yeah, it was
I thought it
here.
was
It's
already
gonna
Yeah.
in the back.
It's
Hit
gonna be
here?
here.
It's going to be hitting the artillery next,
Yeah.
which is why I didn't focus fire on the artillery.
Oh, I
Because they'll
see.
probably
Yes,
get cracked by the
yes.
storm.
Well, in that
Yeah, 'cause
case,
they've all taken a bunch of lightning damage too, so
You-
they're all pretty
Yeah.
squishy.
These are regular infantry units here that are now exposed, so you can attack them if you would like.
so are these infantry available and not about to get hit by the storm?
Yes, correct.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, then I will
That's
attack
2
them.
turns away.
Okay. All right. You can
Yeah,
see.
The cavalry will move in time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have about 1,000 horses here, and again about 500, 350 here in the hounds of the Sunset Vale. So the cavalry here, you can see them kind of forming up together, and you can hear Gareth just kind of like, forward to the back, they're exposed, and you kind of like hear the thundering of the hooves charging back to the infantry as they're trying to regain a footing. I'm going to go ahead and move them up just a little bit, and then I'm going to move on the token map here. Move over to the Shadowdale topographical map. So moving one over this way. Okay. 1, 2, kind of just coming into on the other side of the river Ashaba. Okay, wheeling towards the rear line there. All right, go ahead and make, if you wouldn't mind, with the cavalry, the outriders. Thank you. 16. That will definitely hit. 1 casualty. They are diminished. They're going to have to make a morale test.
But before,
Yes.
Ooh.
I'm going to. Or hold on. Gotta get my words. Okay, so that was. I need to make the power attack then, or do they die? Do they take their casualty first?
They take 1 casualty, and then you make they take 1 casualty, and that 1 casualty is going to diminish them. So they're going to make a morale test. I think it's DC 13, but I'm going to double check. First time unit is diminished. Yeah, 13. Okay, so that would be their standard infantry, so they're going to fail. That's 1d20 plus 1. So they're going to take an additional casualty. And go ahead and now make your power test. 1d20 plus 3 for the power test. Follow up.
21.
Yes. Taking 1 more. And also, I just want to double check, because I think I might have missed something with Sirag. I want to see if that was his action. Okay. Martial Rally, I think as a broken unit of the commander. It's not an action. And I believe that I said that the heavy infantry failed on their power test, right? When they were attacking your own heavy infantry.
They failed because of the mind over.
Right, which is perfect, because okay, awesome. And then that was a fail and a fail there. Aerial and cavalry unit doesn't apply. Cavalry unit doesn't apply. Artillery unit doesn't apply. They have not diminished or broken a unit. Wow, yeah, you're really kicking their ass.
Y'all really hoarded a bunch of resources to sweep through them.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to double check.
It's only round 3.
They are good. They are good. Okay.
Well, this is round 2 because we had the surprise round.
Oh, that's right.
So this is the yeah.
So charge.
Or I guess technically round 1.
You can use a reaction to deal 1 casualty to any unit opposite of it.
Oh, so this one.
Okay, so yeah.
Cool.
All right. So I'm gonna move them so they sweep around. Their position is gonna be here now. A brilliant circular maneuver of cavalry as you can see them kind of thundering around and just charging through the back line, just swiping and slashing as this flurry of steed and steel just flashes through the back line. Mostly black and brown horses, right? So chestnut and raven and jet black, just like a flurry. And also the armor too is like the sort of black leathers and those flashes of gold as well with the armor on the horses, just absolutely slamming and tearing into the back line here. Let's go back to the overland map here. And the cavalry has now swept back here. Okay, all right, Jeff, proceed.
The other cavalry,
Yes.
the other flank,
Okay.
is going to step back and try and clash against their opposing cavalry.
Perfect.
So just sort of continuing with the pincer movement there.
Okay.
Only going to hit a 17.
Yes. That'll do it. Power test.
7.
Okay. So no charge, but you're able to clash, and we're just going to bring them a little closer to the back line here. Okay. Do you want to wheel them around this way? Or do you want to have them
Yeah,
Up
I'll
here.
go ahead and leave him in the back.
here?
Yeah.
Okay. They're wheeling around. Perfect. Okay. Reflecting on the overland map. Thundering of hooves and steel. Perfect. Okay. All right, Jeff, what else?
The Rangers from House Dalrathir are going to make their 2 attacks against
Ooh,
the
yes.
enemy shield maniple here in the middle.
Perfect. Don't forget you have mobile, ethereal, and elf shot. If you know what
Yes.
those. Okay, perfect.
Yes. Unfortunately, we're stuck in the back, so we're not terribly mobile right now, but we're going to get into that later.
All right, fair. So the House Dernive Rangers, right? The Umbral Rangers. You can see the shadow magic sort of igniting in their bows as just this pulse of shadow and smoke just flares up in the back line as you can see this cloud forming above them as they're almost enshrouded in this smog. Go ahead and make a power test. D20 plus 8.
First,
so
I'm going
attack,
to make
sorry.
my command check to try and hit a volley.
Got it. Volley!
2? Yes. Does a 21 make that command check?
Okay.
Yes, DC 13. I beat it.
That'll do it.
Nice.
Yes, volley.
So
page
instead
110.
of just the one maniple, I'm going to hit the maniple, both maniples actually.
Yep. Okay. And does volley let you attack one other target, right?
Choose 2 adjacent units and make a DC 13 command test.
two.
On a success,
Okay.
attack both.
All right. So
Cool.
action. 2 adjacent units. Okay, so you're trying to hit the peasants and the shield maniples here?
Both maniples,
Both maniples. Got it.
because
got it, got
they're
it.
adjacent, not.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Oh, gotcha.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's an at 1.
Okay.
Use the pool.
Yeah, I'm going to use that power pull.
Yeah.
Whatever the
Well,
lowest
I
one
mean,
is.
there's only a 12, so that would bring
There's
it.
only a 12 left, so I guess
Yeah.
that wouldn't bring it up. That'd bring it up to a 13. So yeah, that would be a nat 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whiff.
Okay.
But they do get 2 attacks, correct?
A 12 would
'Cause they
bring
have
it up
2
to
on
a
their sword.
20, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Oh.
No, I
Well-
only have.
I thought the 2 was how much damage they did.
No, that's the 1.
Yep.
Oh.
the
I gotta
2
go right
is.
spot.
Yeah, I believe the 2 is attacks. Yep. You're right.
Cool. I mixed those
And
up.
don't forget the Storm Rider Wyverns can attack twice.
I should have remembered. That's okay. Now I know.
Or is it an
Who
attack
else can
plus
attack
2?
twice?
The professionals can.
Well, actually, hold on. Yeah, well, I'm gonna say that a nat 1 does always miss. A nat 1 does always miss. So there's no way to use a power pool to solve that. Big whiff there. They kind of sharded themselves too much, but second attack for the follow-up as they are trying one more time to adjust. The arrows are going wide, not hitting anything. Completely whiff, but go ahead and make that second attack.
Ooh,
That'll do it. That's much better. Okay, so
an additional casualty.
yeah, 2 adjacent units. But your action has already been used, so that will just be 1 target. Unfortunately, that's the nat 1. So what target are you trying to hit with the second attack? This is the volley failed.
We'll go ahead and hit the same center maniple.
Center units? Okay. So, and it's a damage of 1. All right. As this volley of shadowy arrows just... These arrows are almost screeching through the air as they fly over towards the central shield maniples here, the heavy infantry, and you can hear screams, but you can see as these shadowy arrows strike home, you can actually hear the tortured screams of the soldiers here, as you can see them almost withering as they are struck by the arrows. Kind of like the opening of Battle for Azeroth, where Sylvanas kind of comes down and kind of does her shadow thing before she yells for the horde, and you can see them, the soldiers kind of getting the life actually sucked out of them. That's what the shadow, the umbral arrows here are doing. That would bring them down
We
to
got a tarot card.
3. Tarot card hurt, thank you. I'd bring it down to 3, and they are going to make a morale check. They're at 4. Maybe 1. 6 plus 9. Okay, so they're going to take 1 additional casualty. They were at 4. Now they're at 2. And go ahead and make a power test for me, please. Toughness.
15?
Yeah, that'll do it.
I'm going to use my reaction and strafe.
Nice.
Oh, yes. Okay. Reaction strafe. Page 110 also. Two adjacent opposed units in the same rank.
Command check?
So two,
Yeah,
that's
command
2
13.
adjacent units. So that would also be the...
That is not a success.
Oh.
Now, would you like to use so you can hit this one and this one if you want to use a power die? Up to you.
We've only got 2 power die left, right?
Yes. But if you use one, you will break this heavy infantry.
And I think the battle.
I'll
is
take
not
it. I'll
much
take it.
long
I'll
for
take
this
it.
World.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take the last power die.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. So that's going to be power pool. Go back to the hot tub, everybody. We're back at the hot tub. All right. We got a 12 and 11. You only need the 11. Okay. Are we wheeling? Are
So
we doing
yeah.
it yet? Okay.
2 adjacent opposed units take 1 casualty each.
Oh, so it'll be that one and this
Yep.
one.
So this unit is okay. So would you describe how these sort of withering, this volley of several hundred withering magical arrows destroys this heavy infantry rank here on the right flank?
Well, you mentioned before that the rangers are using their sort of shadow blades, or sort of their shadow power, and so as the arrows from the first volley that missed sort of land in the ground and sort of seep out, which is sort of like a pool of shadowy ichor, for lack of a better term. As their second strike comes in, all of that shadow leaps across and just as a wave runs through the arrayed maniples. As it sort of saps their life energy.
Outstanding. Okay.
At
All
least
right.
one of them's got to get Indiana Jones.
Yes. And all right. So that is the Elven Thorns, the Umbral Rangers. You still have tarot card. Right. Let's see what we do here. Okay. That is going to be another ally here. So what do you have on the field? Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna say because I believe during because this is the humanoid, right, which is going to be an ally. It's going to be an advantage for an ally that you have gained along the way during your adventures. The humanoid.
Is it our troll friend?
It could be, but y'all did direct some of your sappers before the battle to set charges on the walls, right? To try and sap the walls. That was part of the... Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and roll for at advantage for the sappers here. Oof. Yeah, that's not going to do anything, unfortunately. Other than, yeah, no, worth a shot. A 2 and a 4. Some of the fortifications explode and it looks pretty, right? So it's that sort of backline wall that they have, you can see some of their fortifications just start to explode and ignite as they're a little bit like, what the fuck? But that would bring us to, I think the Hobgoblin Infantry is what you have left,
Yes.
Jeff? Okay.
Yep. They're going to eat some peasants for breakfast.
All right, you got
Oh
it.
no.
As they just kind of charge and look over to, oh yeah, yep. Could you just describe how they are, how they tear apart the right flank of levies here?
Well, see, the thing is, they've already they plowed through the first set of levies,
Yeah.
and like, well, everything else in front of us is on lightning or is on fire or covered in lightning.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go this way. This is easier.
Yep.
And so they just sort of turn to their right and charge through, axes and swords swinging as they just plow into these unprepared peasants.
Yes. So, Yozo Dozo, I'm so sorry that your goblin sappers that you pulled with the ally card, which was the next ally in the queue, I'm sorry that your goblin sappers in advance did not, that their explosives did not hit anybody. Sometimes the dice rolls that way. Worth a shot. Thank you for the pull, though. But that was for the goblin sappers. Yeah, so these peasants are absolutely going to be annihilated. Do you want to have the hobgoblins move in as a follow-up? It's an open field, so they can without a test. I'm going to say they can move laterally without a test, considering it's an open field if you want.
But that's a reaction, though, right?
That would be one. Yeah, but I would say each unit gets a reaction, though. So.
I don't want to use my reaction for something else. I'm trying
That's
to figure
okay.
out if I can use that reaction for something else.
Yeah,
Although,
you can
so, okay,
leave
so
them there
does
if you
this
want.
does that count as a diminish? Or no, unit. Did that diminish or break that unit?
That broke the unit. Yeah.
That broke the unit. Okay, I'm going to use the field promotion.
Okay.
They get a +2 to
Your hat.
Oh shit!
You get an
Okay.
additional attack.
and an additional attack.
Yeah.
And they're warbred, so they get an additional attack anyway.
Oh, cool. Still they get like
so-
3? Yeah, swing them in.
They're going to take their move because they didn't have to move up to those
Yeah.
hobgoblins, so they're going to move into the mana pool. So they're going to move to this area
Yeah.
and take two attacks against the mana pools.
But
Okay.
Those are our mana.
Yeah, those are your maniples. But I'm gonna say if you want to, yeah,
What
if
are you
you
guys
want
doing there? Get out of the way!
you can make a
I
command
moved in.
test. I'm gonna say you can make it's an open field, so I'm gonna call it a DC 11 command test. So 1d20 plus 2 to have them move laterally, diagonally. They are infantry. The DC 11 command test.
D20 plus 2?
Plus 1. Oh yeah, plus
Oh, no,
2
they're
because
promoted.
of your they're promoted.
Plus 3 then.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're good. So they are going to move in, and let's correct that in the overworld map. Also,
And then 2 extra attacks. That's crazy.
yes, as they're moving in, and Baba Yaga, you're gonna love this other tarot card here. I'm gonna absolutely love this. All right, so let's go ahead and reflect back up here. That is
This guy's
levies
gone.
here. Yeah.
Oops.
All right.
That's a 15 on the first hit.
Okay. And you're attacking the maniples here?
Yes.
Okay. That's gonna do it. Describe how the hobgoblins here break into the shield maniples
They're
and
just
crush
sort of-
them.
They're rolling forward with the rest of the momentum they've got from just crushing.
There's 1,000 of them, by the way. This is the Iron Fangs regiment, which is bugbears, hobgoblins, goblins, Yuan-Ti, minotaurs, all of the above.
It's basically they are rolling forward. This is probably like one of the most recent times they've had the opportunity to just go
Easily
literally
shot,
hog
thank you.
wild.
Yeah.
And are just cruising through this. Like they get the opportunity to bash the fash, and they are doing it as hard as they can.
Can you imagine being like a shitty racist, like a fantasy racist fascist in the Red Plumes, having like an equal amount, and then having all of this intensity unleashed, and then being a frontline soldier, knowing that like maybe you even had a "Are we the baddies" moment, and like the same people you were fighting to eradicate are now having their just reward and are charging at you on an open field with the intent to kill and maim all the people that you hated for this long are now coming to tear you to shreds. Can you imagine being an infantry in there? That is wild and so fitting. I am here for it. Shout out to Diesel Shot. Thank you, Baba Yaga, for doing that. Spider Queen. Spider Queen Log. Hello, friends. You came in at just the right time. We're in the middle of warfare. Let's go. All right, so yeah, that just absolutely tearing into this heavy infantry, and it's bloody. It is, but you understand, right? Like you get it. It's bloody. It's visceral. The screams are a little disconcerting. You see one of the Minotaurs even kind of, again, calling back to the Battle for Azeroth cinematic, just doing the charge with the goring horns, just kind of running through, and you see one of the Red Plumes up on one of the Minotaur's horns as he picks him up and throws him down onto the ground. One of the other bugbears comes in with a great axe and slams down into the body as they kind of run forward into the line here. That line breaks. They still have one more attack. You want to go for the longbowman?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. D20 plus.
I've never managed to land a power attack on these guys because they keep just crushing them with the initial.
We've softened them up
All
real good.
right. That is going to do
only
it.
a 12.
That is still going to beat their defense of 10.
10?
Power
Yeah.
test.
Oh yeah, 10 power test.
Oh,
Only a
oh.
6.
Oh, okay. Do you want to use the last die and take out that artillery, or do you want to save it for an emergency?
Nah, I'm gonna save that one.
Save it for an emergency. Okay.
They've done enough. They've done enough damage
Okay.
already.
Cool.
And yeah, thank you, Baba Yaga, for doing the shout out for our friends at Diesel Shot. Diesel Shot, hello. How is development going on Change Stars? Our good friends over there. I wanna check in with y'all real quick. What do y'all got going on? How's Change Stars going? Were you doing a showcase? Were you doing a dev stream? Were you playing a one shot? What do y'all have going on over there? Tell us about it in the chat. All right, and I think that's it for the hobgoblins.
That
We're
is
running
it for the
wild.
hobgoblins. Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if there is one of the units from Nick still available.
The
Yes.
hounds, I think, haven't been used yet.
Yep. The Storm Riders.
And you say that I just walked into the storm, or I'm walking into the rank the storm will be leaving?
You can.
The storm will be here.
Right. So
Okay.
Storm is
the
going to be in the center line.
cavalry is fast moving, especially elite cavalry. So you can hit a rear unit in the back here. You can hit any exposed unit, or any unit on the fringes. So if you you can hit that exposed infantry in the back.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take that reserve or that rear infantry.
Got it. Oh, tie roads tonight. Okay, awesome. Hell yeah. Fighting pirates. Sea serpent coves. Oh, tell me about your sea serpent. I love sea serpents. Okay, so the hounds are charging to the back. Go ahead, and you said you do want to do that with this rear infantry that's exposed?
Yeah.
Okay, as Gareth is leading the charge, and he's like, push that! Push forward! And good thundering towards the back there. and you can just hear him as Gareth is charging. He just kind of holds up his, it's like a little bit bigger than a longsword, right? And you can see him gonna hold it up, his tattered cloak kind of billowing in the wind as he just shouts out, "No mercy!" And you just hear a, "Oh!" as the cavalry just charges into the back. Go ahead and make a power 19. Yeah, that'll do it. That will describe how Gareth, knowing how hard
the
he's
19
fighting,
was the attack.
yeah,
The 19 was the
that's all
attack.
you need.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They only have one as well?
They only have one.
doing so
This is
good.
very much. I'm trying to think of trying to think of a movie that has a good cavalry charge in it, but basically they
Lord of
drop
the
their
Rings?
lances down and they just ride straight in. And the cavalry, the infantry, which was lined up expecting, you know, oh no, lightning and things from the sky. Where did these horses come from? And they just sort of plow right through them.
Getting
Outstanding.
completely Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
Yep.
To the king! Absolutely. Alright, rear line. Okay. Perfect.
Heck yeah.
That is gonna be infantry.
And archers.
Yeah.
Oh. At what point do they consider retreat? Because this is not looking good for them.
Probably soon. But
Well,
they
they've
have
got
to
two
get through a whole
actions
round.
after.
Yeah.
And that is it for Simeon.
Okay. And I think the hobgoblin infantry. All right, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And can we mark the hobgoblins as promoted somehow?
Yes.
Because basically they've got a +2 for everything.
A little hat.
The line of 3.
They were promoted. It needs to be
A very nice hat.
Yeah.
Big hat.
Missing something here.
Any plan where you lose your hat is bad plan.
It needs to be a shiny hat.
True.
3. So there's an infantry squared off with one of your own down here. Okay, perfect. Then on the second line, there is a levy. And on the third line, wait, did you got rid of the longbows, right? Can't remember.
I thought so. Yeah, you said you.
I think you said
no.
so, yeah.
Wait, the longbows. You said if you
Here.
wanted to use the dice, you could.
Oh,
finish
right,
them.
Oh, that's
right,
right, that's
right,
right,
right.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. I
The
didn't-
So they're
longbow,
still
right,
around.
Okay. Just want to make sure. And I made a little oopsie here. There should be one longbow still up. And that is not a sword. It's a longbow. And in the back, it's a cavalry and an infantry. Okay, and then you have all your cavalries in the back. Yep, that looks correct. Correct. Okay. 3, 4, 5. And is that it for Jeff? Is that everything?
That is it for me.
Okay, and all right. Yeah, we got to check it at the end of this turn order, but Simeon, I mean, not sorry, you just went famous Sunstorm. You're up. Okay, so you have the entirety of the infantry. You can move up. You can move up the ones in the center here and attack the human infantry here to the left if you want to try and take them out. your center line has just like been stood there. Oh, by the way, Change Stars is out in PDF form. Is out in PDF form now. Oh, that's awesome. When did y'all release that officially? By the way, I'm gonna have your infantry kind of. You can see a sort of a yellow flag being waved as Thamus gives the command for the infantry to advance, and you can hear Circa Gladiator as the sort of the intensity swells, the war horns, the drums start sounding, and you can hear just in the back, very casual. You can see one of the battle captains, one of the old veterans of the Zhentarim, right? Sort of like this old guy with sort of sunken cheeks and sort of a scar across his face. He just infantry form up for advance, and they're just gonna pick up together and just start slowly marching forward. Do you want to form a column to have them push forward?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah, single column, form up for advance, and you can see this guy with just his sword, just kind of like very listlessly, kind of just pointed forward. As you can see, his units just kind of like in lockstep, just moving forward with their shields are a little bit smaller. They are sort of kite shields, and they have a little bit more mobility. They are kind of moving forward behind the maniples, and as you kind of move in over here, you can also move up. You have an infantry over here. You can have them either move forward or diagonally if you want to make a command test.
Alright,
Do you want to have them sort of fill in the gaps and fall in behind the hobgoblins, or do you want to just have them move forward?
Let's put this guy. Yeah, we'll move into that gap.
Okay, so go ahead and make a command test for me. DC 11
D20
plus 2.
D20 plus 2.
A simple maneuver.
Ugh, you gotta be kidding.
That's okay. They get a little confused, and they're able to just move forward, right? So they're a little exposed, but they do move forward in the confusion. But that's okay. Now for this infantry here, you still have some that are a little bit. Actually, they're holding the line here. So I'm going to say, go ahead and make a power test on the left flank infantry. Clash of infantry. So D20 plus 3.
There's the 20.
That'll do it. Okay. So as the infantry forms up for advance, they just move, and you can see the battle captain here just kind of begins to wave the sword, and they double time and just crash into the other infantry here. Steel on steel, blood. It's sword on sword, basic infantry. The grunts now are just absolutely hammering each other down here. One casualty. Go ahead and make a power test here. That's going to be another D20 plus 2. Oh, no dice there, but it's up to y'all. If you want to use that last power die, you can break that. Will put you to what you need to break this infantry unit and try to institute a you can break this infantry unit here if you take that last power die, which would put them dangerously close to retreating, having to force a retreat. It's up to y'all.
Any objection to me doing that?
Not at all.
Take him out. Go for it.
All
Yeah,
right,
we haven't lost a single unit. This is very clean.
We've barely been damaged.
Then let's do exactly that and take out these fuckers.
Okay. Last power die here. The wrong page. Go. Okay. All right. That'll do it. So, Thamus, would you please describe as to how this column of infantry sort of moves forward and collapses this unit here in the front?
Just well-trained infantry. Think your classic military maneuvers. Just perfect formation. It goes, and the opposing infantry was already in disarray, so it was they're just now broken.
Okay. All right. They just move in perfect formation, and this unit breaks and starts to scatter. All right. Now I'm going to leave them up for now. So I think that's really... I don't think you have any other movement or attacks that can be made with your infantry where they are, so...
I also have a thing.
Yes.
Where'd it go? I believe all of my... each infantry unit I control can make an additional attack.
Okay. I don't think that's going to... I'm going to say... Hold on, let's... I'm going to check something here real quick. Yeah, okay, so go ahead and make a DC 8 command test for me. So D20 plus 2. D20 plus 2.
11.
That'll do it. Okay, so this unit breaks. And would you like to have your infantry move up and fill the gaps?
Yes.
Okay. They do exactly that. I'm just gonna say with that command test that your line, these two here are both able to move up, and you can make your one extra attack against the levies here in front of you. So D20 plus 3 for a DC of 10. That'll do it.
21.
As you can see, the battle captain again just continuing to sort of point forward as the infantry just kind of moves forward and cuts into the line here. All right, they're looking a little worse for wear, and I'm gonna say y'all have not used the dragon. If you want to call in the emperor, on the line of artillery, you can absolutely call in a strafe, because there was another tarot card here from Baba Yaga that wasn't used, and it is the ally ace. It is the ace ally, and that is like a wild card. That's supposed to be a narrative spice. So
I think we were keeping the dragons secret.
if you...
How secret is secret, though? Like,
right.
are they aware that we have a dragon?
The storm, I don't think so, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you could essentially end the fight now if you want to call in the Emperor.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah,
I remember
that'll...
I remember the ballista were mentioned as would be prepared if they knew the dragon was there in the next fight.
But your sappers, even though they didn't deal any damage to the infantry, I'm gonna go back to our new friend here, Yozo Dozo. So that tarot card that you pulled, Yozo Dozo, those explosions on the wall that didn't harm any of the actual units that I said destroy the battlements. You look up and you can see that your that series of explosions on the walls. You saw people diving for cover, and nobody was really harmed, except for the roughly 8 scorpion ballistas that were stationed on the wall that are now in crumbling ruins as a crumbling, a crumbling heap.
There's also like the psychological effect of we end the battle in a decisive, complete victory with a dragon strike.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a summon. We summoned a freaking tornado.
Yeah.
What do you say,
I'm
Amos?
doing that and ending this.
Yeah,
I'm down.
here
Okay.
for it.
Yeah.
All right. As you can see, the two final commanders, the 3 Red Plume commanders in total, trying to rally back and trying to form a retreat. You can see this back line here trying to rally and sort of find themselves and fit back together. They're trying to form a retreat, and this will be a story that you're going to be told, but you can, some of the soldiers overhear some of the Red Plumes just saying, "We can hold them off while we do a tactical retreat. Get everyone together." And as you do that, you hear and you can hear this rumbling through the storm as they all shift their attention to the massive blackened wingspan that sweeps around from the right flank down through the center. You want to hit the artillery?
Yeah, let's do it. I would say like just for the factor of it, the storm, which the artillery was like it's about to hit us, just parts, and they have a moment of ha-ha, and then
yes. All right, so go ahead and Thamus, go ahead and roll d20 plus 10 at advantage because of the ally card. So 2d20 plus 2d20.
Hey, dragons are good.
The higher of the two is a
24. Okay.
Yeah.
And that is gonna be, yep. And then can you then roll a 1d20 plus 11?
19.
Okay. As the storm parts and the dragon kind of swoops through, you can see in terror as this line of catapults and archers tries to scatter, and sort of you can hear the dragon just kind of swoop down. The roar actually reverberates through the entire battlefield. You can feel this roar of this massive black dragon in your chest as it reverberates your chest and swings down onto the field of battle, and you just hear this, and there's just this moment of silence before death and carnage and destruction is just unleashed on this line as this massive torrent of dragon fire is strafed across the catapults, the archers, and the left flank of archers, as you can hear the horrible screams and melting flesh of the soldiers here that are just dissolved by the intense heat of the acid from this dragon. 1, 2, 3, done. And they are.
should have a gift. Hey, there we go. We do have a gift. There we go.
That's devastating.
Tree. Yep.
Yeah. Oh god, it's acid because it's a black dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
Yep.
They are going to sound a tactical retreat. After that, you just hear, "Run!" That's gonna be, and just panicked screams as, okay, so that's gonna be 2 DC-8 command tests. And I'm gonna say they're gonna use as many dice as they need to in their power pool. Let's just see. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Gonna use power die. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So the cavalry, levies, and the infantry are going to, with these 3 commanders here, are going to make a tactical retreat as they begin to sort of gallop off the field of battle and make a break for it. The storm begins to dissipate, and on the field of battle, as you absolutely rout the Red Plumes and they begin to run, you get that one. I love that, the idea of that one battle captain in the back just being like still stone-faced. But General Gareth kind of gallops into the middle of the battlefield, and you can hear him just take up one of his blades and holds it up into the air, and it's just like, "Brothers, Siblings! Sisters! Fellas victorious! And you just hear, oh! What are y'all doing?
Oh gosh.
And you can see Commander Riviere just kind of move forward and put her hands on the central table and kind of look over into the battlefield and kind of put a hand on the two shoulders of Hurricana and Celine. And hearing the devastation and carnage that is being wrought onto the battlefield, just kind of puts a hand on each of your shoulders, stoic, and with reverence, stoicism, and intensity of someone who is familiar to the carnage. Just, well done. Well, Zhentarim just kind of taps you both on the back. Let's go ahead and take a quick break before we wrap up the session for the evening. We'll end at 12.
Yeah.
So, quick 10-minute break. And we'll see y'all back here at 11:45, and then we'll do like a quick 5 minutes for an outro, and for like some outro RP, and then we'll go around the table, introduce our projects, and go from there. So 11:45, we will be back. We'll see y'all soon. Fala Zhentarim. Okay, everybody. Hello. Welcome back. So I want to describe a few things here on the field of battle that you see as you are kind of gazing out in the field. You can see that Matron Aunray is the only one who is remaining in the tower. At some point in the battlefield, Aunray had snuck out to join the fighting down on the field. And you can see it's very likely with the little magic she has with their teleportation magic that she kind of zipped in with the Elven Thorns. Let me go ahead and loop this next track that's about to play. Okay. One of the first things you notice is sort of Aunray, who is now embedded with the Elvish Thorns, the Umbral Rangers. And you can see that there is a sort of a vanguard with her of sort of a group of like a dozen or so of her own Shadow Blades. And they are making a point to walk through the battlefield and just taking care of any survivors, right? She is getting her vengeance that has been a century in the making. She is absolutely just striding around in the battlefield confidently, and you can see that she has put that hood that she has frilled out the back, and it now has, so she kind of usually tucks it away, but it's like this frilled back collar now. It's very regal, right? So she's like reclaiming her throne, and in sort of a bit of bloodlust, she is just kind of executing any survivors on the field, just running through. As you kind of zoom in on that, but you can see that's sort of like an isolated incident. The soldiers are just cheering and shouting, "Fala Zhenta! Fala Zhenta! Fala Zhenta!" And you can see Gareth sort of standing atop one of the hills on the field of battle. Let's move over here to the actual overland map here, as the sort of commanders are retreating with the infantry. And part of the warfare rules does say that if they can execute the command tests, that they can execute a tactical retreat. The 3 commanding units included, right? So they are executing a tactical retreat back to Hillsfar, which happened much sooner than they had initially thought. To the cheers of Vala Zhentarim in the ruins of Toad Knoll, Castle Grimstead, Kavanaugh, on the field of battle, there are thousands Red Plume soldiers who have been killed in battle, and to the thousands of dead Red Plumes, there are several hundred, perhaps maybe 1,000 dead Zhentarim or Zhentilar, combined from all the units. Possibly even less, closer to 800, I would say, given that none of the units actually broke. But maybe your total casualty rate is somewhere around 750 to 800 for Zhentarim casualties, but compared to the nearly 8 to 9,000 of the dead Red Plumes. The victory here has been absolute in every meaning of the word. As Commander Darkwind just seems very satisfied, but doesn't necessarily engage in this jubilation. It's more of just, she lets out a deep breath. Yes! Lets out a sigh and then grabs the shoulders of Celine and Mistress Hurricana. And in this moment, witnessing the carnage and the screams of the dying Red Plumes, the wounded Zhentilar, the blood and the smell starts to waft up to the tower as well. How is seeing the death and carnage that has been wrought on the field of battle on your behalf? I'm going to turn it back over to the Stormwatch now, as congratulations are simply doled out in the form of shoulder pats by Commander Darkwind, who just pats you all on the shoulder and nods stoically.
I think Huracan is not partaking in like the jumping for joy sort of thing. She is more surveying the battlefield, looks over. A complete victory. I suppose it is good that you brought me out of retirement.
And Riviar kind of turns to you and just, I wouldn't have anyone else to help lead the armies. It's good to have you back, Hurricana.
Of course. Now, all that's left is to further scatter them to the wind.
Hurricana.
Yes. She like tilts her head.
I think Jeff might have frozen.
Oh.
You get a little- no, I can see Jeff's eyes moving. All right,
I
go
see
ahead, Jeff.
movement. Yeah.
Am I back?
Yeah.
You're good. You're back. You're back.
I think it
got
might be a
you.
Verizon thing. Do you have Verizon?
Yeah.
No, I got Comcast.
Comcast? Maybe it's. I don't even know what we have. I think it might be. I don't know, but I think the ISPs are just a mess. But go ahead, Jeff.
Simeon sort of looks over to Hurricana and just sort of nods as they comment on the battle, and he sort of reaches out a hand and says, "It's good to have experienced commanders with us. I know that Thamus has been through a lot, and I just get beat up a lot, but we made it work."
Famous will nod at that, and also offer a hand.
She
did
shakes each, and it's not cold fish handshake. It's just like these hands are not used to this specifically, and just very odd syncopation of movements to shake your hand. Doesn't blink very much. She just kind of tilts gaze one way, tilts gaze the other. I apologize for your various head injury. And she turns to Simeon, because that's what I guess she assumes if you're saying you get beat up a lot. And turns over and goes, yes, excellently done.
Agreed. Your talents will be an asset to the Stormwatch.
I should hope they were in my prime, and they will continue to be.
Indeed. Thamus will also at this point survey the battlefield and offer up a prayer for those casualties on our side.
You have inspiration?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
While Thamus is doing that, Simeon is going to wander back over to the gem, I guess is the best way to describe it. The section of the tower where the matrons were imprisoned earlier.
Yep, and you can see Aunrei is sort of in the center of all of them, and her hair is flowing in the air. She is levitating, and the three orbs in this room all switch to the same shadowy purple color. And she is sort of levitating off the ground, and there is sort of starlight and silver light just dancing around her. The sunlight through the clouds hitting this tower is causing this refractive starlight effect that is absolutely making her seem ethereal in every sense of the word. Silver hair
And,
just flowing in
he's-
the breeze. Go ahead.
Simeon is going to take the scabbard out and set it at her feet.
She kind of pauses
And,
for. Go ahead,
and sort
sorry.
of nod back to her and thank you again for your assistance, matrons.
She smiles and she says, "In celebration, there is a gift that once this tower is complete, once I have attuned to it, I may bestow upon they who have liberated our lands. A generous gift to be wielded by one of you. I hope you will accept it with all the reverence and humility due to your station. A gift from the High Matron of House Zhentilar, restored to glory once more." And the scabbard kind of begins, you can actually see constellations beginning to appear on the scabbard now as the Shadow Tower continues to attune itself with its rightful owners. Just this whole almost three-dimensional constellation pattern, this illusion of like 3 dimensions that you can see on the scabbard starting to light up. You can also hear sort of the whooshing of wings as the dragon soars over the battlefield once more, lets out another roar that reverberates in your chest as the roar is followed up by this this roaring applause, this roaring cheer as the dragon sort of soars overhead and starts to glide over towards the Shadow Tower.
I think Celine, seeing what the Dark Elves were doing on the battlefield at the end of it,
Mostly just Aunray. Mostly just Aunray.
okay.
And her
But
12
seeing
assassins.
Seeing that happening, I think she would kind of look at everyone and kind of turn to everyone and be like, I think we should send the peasantry home. And she will turn into, we'll say she wild shapes into like an albatross. And just
Okay.
out one of the windows and
Sure.
heads towards the battlefield. And she will start to, give people the little bits of healing they need to get up and go home.
DM inspiration for everybody. Y'all are really crushing this.
Her family was poor, and she knows that most of these peasants didn't want here in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, she's mostly going for like the hardened soldiers, right? Basically
She doesn't care what
yeah.
the hardened soldiers do,
Yeah.
But when it comes to like the people she's trying
yeah.
to stop, it's the hardened soldiers that she's trying to stop. With the peasantry, she knows that
Right.
they're just
yeah.
here because they were told they have to be.
But Aunray is essentially so the more plumage you have, right? So if you have like a full plume and also like a red cloak and sort of like red feathers here around the cloaks, basically like this the equivalent of having a skull on your helmet, right? A skull and crossbones from World War II.
Celine has no interest in stopping her from doing
that's
anything to those
that's
people.
more of what she's doing, and she's doing so with complete prejudice, just which is due, right? So it's kind of like a little bit of role reversal here against the ultra fascist, kind of getting their comeuppance. But you can kind of see her. She actually walks past some of the peasantry, completely ignoring them as they kind of scatter to the wind, seeing her with like, she's kind of intimidating. She actually has she takes one of the heads from the commandants, kind of puts it on her belt, and the peasantry are just like scattering right at her approach. And she is just kind of like twirling the blades in her hands as she's like making the rounds through the battlefield. Like kind of honing in on those like the seasoned Red Plume like commandants and things like that. But you're able to kind of fly down there and kind of like there's one of the elite, right? It's like kind of right next to a peasant, but you kind of fly down, you're able to shape back and kind of stand in between them and kind of like turn and like usher the peasant away, like time to go home, as you hear like from the back, and they're like "Ah!" And you're like, what do you say to them as they're like trying to scamper away terrified?
She would look at them and just say, if you're to pick up any steel, be it a trowel, a hoe, never again a blade.
They just
go home. Tell your children you love them.
Thank you. Because it's gonna run and scampers away, and you actually hear like some of the infantry kind of laughing at that as he kind of runs away off the field. A little bit of a chuckle as they kind of point over. But yeah, the wounded are being gathered, and these Zhentilar wounded have priority. Now you can hear sort of the shouts of some of the medics, some of the battlefield surgeons, and still being in the center, the ground is wet with mud and blood and just that horrible smell of after a battlefield that just overwhelms. And you can see immediately a lot of the soldiers are lighting cigars, hand-rolled cigarettes, pipe tobacco, incense, whatever fires they can light, fodder and detritus to burn, they are doing so. Kind of a lot of them are seasoned veterans. You can actually see some of the Winter Wolves emblems that you would recognize that famous Sunstorm kind of wears proudly on her lapel. It's just sort of like a white wolf's head, and it has like just the outline of like a snowflake on the back of it, very specific to the Winter Wolves regiment. But Celine kind of continues to help some of the peasantry kind of escape. But back up in the tower, the dragon kind of circles, and you can hear it and feel the vibrations of the tower as it lands atop the Shadow Tower and kind of shakes the walls like. And the matron kind of unfazed. I think at one point she just kind of opens up one eye and looks up and then relaxes once more. And you can hear just the sounds of the tower as you can see her kind of moving her hands around, kind of like opening for this individual. And with the three-dimensional view, you can actually see kind of coming around some of the top steps from the battlements, almost being guided by the magic of Matron Aunray, is this only about 5'11", right? Is this individual that was atop the dragon, long spiked armor and a helm. The armor is very similar to kind of what Sauron wears. And the first one I actually have. Ooh. Let's see if I.
Oh, is the Emperor come to gloat?
Don't have the old one, but you can hear the cheers kind of continue as again this individual with these bladed, and you can see there is like sort of black smoke coming from the eyes, as this individual, the largesse almost, and you can see that he has this couple of very specific blades at his side. Show the audience here. Neon lights! Yes! Thank you! Thank you for the raid, y'all. The blade that he carries at his side has... It has 1, 2, 3, 7 skull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. More than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 skulls on it. Sort of adorned around this blade. They're smaller skulls. They're sort of like adornments here. Hello, Neon Lights. How are y'all? What were y'all getting into over there tonight? Shout outs. At Neon Lights. What do y'all got going on? What were y'all playing tonight? What night was it tonight? Tell us about your game. Whatever y'all had going on over there. This individual kind of descends from the top of the tower, and just slowly you can hear the heavy bootsteps and the metal kind of grinding on each other as kind of he stops at the gates, the front gates of the Shadow Tower, and the matron just kind of wills the gates open. Also, we got Sir Heck a lot. Hello, Sir Heck. Thank you. Yeah, Heck, what did y'all have going on over there tonight? What was on the schedule? As the doors open, this larger-than-life individual kind of comes in. You can hear the dragon just kind of like... atop the tower. As victorious, this individual strides in, the black cloak kind of blowing in the wind, takes off the helmet, this spiked helmet, and the smoke goes with it. So it's a magical effect of the helmet. Puts the helmet by his side, and you can see kind of does the sexy hair flail with the hair. Long, flowing white hair that comes down to below the shoulders. And there is this extremely handsome, chiseled individual with white hair, just a little bit of blonde stubble, and just takes a deep breath, kind of like a one blue eye, one green eye, kind of looks up at y'all and just... I suppose I have all of you to thank for the victory. And just kind of looks over to all of y'all and kind of puts the helmet down on one of the tables and gives y'all just a very slight bow. It wouldn't be possible without all of you. To this, and for all of our fallen soldiers, to those victories we have yet to accomplish, and to the horizon. Tonight, I owe this victory to you. Alazanta, friends. And kind of steps forward, and I very much look forward to meeting all of you and hearing of your tales. Some we have met before in the war room, but new faces brought in by Commander Darkwind. It is nice to meet the two of you. Mistress Hurricana, I have heard much about you.
I tense up, yeah, because that name doesn't ring with me anymore, so I wait until he finishes, but I need to tell him. Yeah.
And Celine, I believe you are our newest druid. And the talent you certainly have. Kind of seeing Hurricana eager to sort of say something, just kind of looks over to you in deference.
I have placed the name and title of mistress until I have my vengeance. For now, Hurricana will do.
Very well, Hurricana. I am Emperor Xavius Rex Alagondar, heir to the throne of Neverwinter, and to the Iron Throne of Zhentil Keep. It is a pleasure to meet the both of you, and a delight to see the three of you safe and sound once more. Come, friends, let us speak. It is time for merriment and celebration. The Shadow Tower is ours. Shadowdale is ours. And our soldiers stand victorious on a glorious field of battle. There are many battles yet to be fought, and the ultimate prize of Hillsfar still stands far from our grasp. I look forward to seeing the reclamation of the Moonsea proceed. And beyond the Sword Coast and greater bounds. But for now, small victories, large victories, a battle for the ages, dare I say. Come, bring your finest wine and imbibements. And kind of just puts out his hands and opens all of you to join him in celebration. Very approachable guy, really. And as he kind of moves closer and congratulates Commander Darkwind, and also personally congratulates each of you with a handshake, with a military handshake with the arms. Just congratulations, Commander. The camera kind of pans out as the sun kind of hits perfectly, shining light onto the battlefield. The clouds part, the dragon lets out one final roar, and we can see kind of everything panning out to the horizon as you can see the field of victory. And just one more final chant of, as the Emperor kind of comes to the balcony and all eyes are on him, and one more chant of Hola! And just the echo of Centaur through the battlefield as the dragon roars, spreads its wings. You stand by the Emperor's side behind him to the open doors of the tower as he shouts down to the field below, Gareth Varkin. And behind him, on horseback, you can see the second general, Rebecca Sorelia, with her red wings outstretched and her flaming sword held aloft into the sky. The storm riders screeching overhead, and the infantry in unison shouting in victory and chanting as we see the entirety of the field of battle before you. And the Moonsea, the northeast. That's where we're going to end the session for the evening. So, great job, everybody. That was freaking awesome. I'm so excited. Woo. Ah, that was great. Let's go around the table, and I know we got to dip out of here as quickly as possible. So, working in reverse order here, Celine, thank you so much for being a part of this. Tell us where everybody can find you and what you have going on, Vivian.
All right. So I have been working very hard on a stream show that I'm hoping to be releasing soon called Pathways of Morenia. It's set in my setting of Morenia. The first few episodes have been recorded and it's really good, and the feedback we've been getting is great. Hoping to get a new overlay for that before we record more episodes, though. Other than that, I am working on my setting itself to release eventually as a Kickstarter, which if you follow my Twitter, which the Nightbot has linked to, then you'll be able to find that and follow along for when I release. But thank you very much. Had a lot of fun tonight.
I did too. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Vivi, and we're very happy to have you here. And of course, Jeff, hello! I know you got a project releasing very soon, so...
Anyway, I'm here. I am on the Discord most of the time. That's most of what I do anymore these days, between work and everything else. But otherwise, come join us on the Discord. We have a bunch of fun times there, talking about just about anything you can think of under the sun. Queer, witchy, all of the above. Grand old time.
TTRPGs of all kind, always looking for games, getting games together. Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Ian.
Hi, everybody. You can find me on the little Twitter on the bot. I'm not doing much on there because I'm real bad at social media, but I have to occasionally engage with it. That's how I find games like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was delighted to be here. I had a really good time. This is my first exposure to MCDM systems. Very cool. A little overwhelming at first because we had such a big army, but I think we managed it, right? kick butt. You can find me. I'm scanning my brain for the things that I am in. I have an upcoming book club style podcast that I will, once we actually release, I will name and talk about because I'm in it. I'm the person who doesn't know about the content that we are covering. I'm the novice. My friend is the expert. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm in podcasts I can name. I am in a few. I'm in a Call of Cthulhu game called Beyond the Crumbling Veil. It is through Pseudonym Social and a few other folks. But I'm playing a psychotherapist in the 40s, so that's been fun. I used to be the skeptic. I'm not anymore, thanks to season 1. So that was a bummer. And I'm also in a Masks actual play podcast called Queen City Supers that you can find on your podcatcher of choice, or if you live in the city of Regina in Saskatchewan, it plays on a radio station there. I cannot for the life of me remember the radio station. That is a quirk of the thing that I'm in, that it also plays on Canadian radio. And I think that's all the stuff I'm in besides this. I just happen to give myself too much to do. If you want to talk to me, if you want to talk to me about Mothership First Edition, I just got my Kickstarter in the mail, the box with all the cool books. I love the monster book. Talk to me about your weird Mothership monsters if you want to run sci-fi horror. I'm looking to do that non-streaming just for some folks to do some one-shots related to Mothership. So bother me about that on the Twitter, and I promise I'll look at it at least once a week, maybe. That's all I got.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, and last but certainly not least, we have Ange, our friend from Anime Singer Radio. I know you mentioned it before. You got some baby beard going on over there, some exclusives.
Yeah, and I'm not, Sunday nights, 8 to 10 Eastern, we are live. We are also, if you can't make it live, we are also up on the audio platforms for wherever you get your podcasts. I don't know if we're streaming or not, but I'm also in a campaign over on Records of the Realms, which is set to come back from a chapter hiatus next week. But like I said, I'm not sure if that's live streaming or not. And I'm here on the Discord. So, and this was just fantastic, and tonight was just epic. So, shout out for that.
Thank you. And that brings it around for us. And also don't forget to follow, because we are 90 away from our goal. But once we hit 750, we have another community game in the works. We're going to play Lichcraft and Viva la Queer Bar here in our community. But in order to play Lichcraft, which is going to be a community game, everybody's going to get a chance to, or at least 5 people are going to get a chance to check that out and play around with it. Community appreciation game. It's about having to wait so long for trans healthcare in the UK that you become an immortal lich to circumvent the wait list. It's great. Yeah, it's very... it's sort of ironic comedy, but it's also like, you know, if it comes across the desk of a normie, it's also to raise awareness like, oh, is it really this bad? Yes. It's not 220 years bad, but it might as well be. It's pretty horrible over in the UK. So it's a cool game to check out, and also you support trans creators by picking up a copy. So definitely check out Lichcraft, very cool. But in the meantime, we have Heaven's Fire coming up this Saturday. The party finally is going to make it to, it's been a long time coming, the Adra Kalina, the glorious City of Lights, based off of Suramar in World of Warcraft. If you are or were a World of Warcraft player, former World of Warcraft player in recovery, as I like to say. But it's based on the Suramar, but sort of like a daylight Suramar. So less having to do with moonlight, more having to do with sort of sunlight and starlight and moonlight. So it's just a city of beautiful lights. It is the capital of the Voskutoria and the continent of Valtheria, which is where our players currently are. They might even get an audience with the Queen, but everything is coming together. You'll be able to see the art commissioned of Queen Valeria from our friend Tora over at Tora Draws, who I met through Jeff. He's super cool, so check out some of the stuff that they do. And yeah, you'll be able to see Queen Valeria the 300-year ruling monarch of the Voskatoria. So check it out on Saturday. It's our anchor campaign. It's entirely homebrew. It's science fantasy. It's great. And also tell your friends that we need more followers. We need to get to 750. And then we can do Lichcraft and play community games and do more community rewards. So tell your friends. We need to get that follower count up. And in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and raid our friends over at Lost Caravan RPG. I think they're still playing. Yep. Okay. So stick around for the raid. If you haven't seen Lost Caravan RPG yet, they're really cool people. You definitely want to stick around for this. Promise. You'll have a good time. They're great. See if we can get all 8 over there.
I played in a couple of
Show me 8. Yeah, maybe 9.
Oh, cool. They're playing
There you go,
Lancer.
Yeah, it's Lancer night. All right,
Love
everybody.
Lancer.
We'll see y'all in 2 weeks. And this Saturday for
Bye.
Heaven's Fire. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.